Hey there, future billionaires. In this episode, we're going to learn about how AI came to be. How did we go from science fiction to reality? Let's start at the beginning. In the 1940s, a mathematician named Alan Turing wrote a paper where he proposed a test for a machine to see if it could think like a human. He imagined a machine that could play chess, solve math problems, and even chat with people. But back then, computers were huge, and all they could do was follow very simple instructions. So the idea of a smart machine was just that, just an idea. Then in the 1950s, we started to see the first attempts at creating a thinking machine. A group of scientists met at a conference, and they discussed the possibility of creating a program that could learn. They called it a digital neuron. This neuron would take in information, process it, and then respond. It was inspired by the human brain, which is made up of neurons that send signals to each other. The scientists were excited because this was the first step towards creating a machine that could think like a human. But there was a problem. Computers were still too slow, and we didn't have enough data to really test this idea. So the project was put on hold. In the 1960s, we started to see some progress. A computer scientist named Joseph Weizenbaum created a program called ELIZA that could chat with people. It was designed to simulate a psychotherapist, and it used a technique called natural language processing to understand what people were saying. ELIZA was able to respond to questions with relevant statements, but it was not truly intelligent. It was just following a set of rules. Then in the 1970s, things started to get interesting. A team of researchers at Stanford created a program called Shaky the Robot. It was one of the first programs to use machine learning, which is a technique where a computer program can learn from data without being explicitly programmed. Shaky was able to learn from its own experiences and improve its performance over time. For example, if it kept failing at a task, it would try a different approach next time. This was a major breakthrough, and it showed that machines could learn like humans. But it wasn't until the 1980s and 90s that we saw the first truly intelligent programs. In 1997, a computer program called Deep Blue defeated a world champion at chess. This was a huge deal because chess is one of the most complex games in the world. It requires a lot of calculation and strategy, and for a machine to beat a human at chess was something that had only been imagined in science fiction before. But this is where things get really interesting. Around the same time, another program called Siri was created. Siri was one of the first voice assistants that could understand natural language. It was developed by Apple, and it was released in 2011. This was a big deal because it made AI technology accessible to the average person. Before Siri, you needed to be a programmer to work with AI. But with Siri, anyone could use it. Just say the words, "Hey Siri," and you could ask it anything. You could ask it to set a timer, play music, or tell you the weather. And it would understand what you were saying and respond accordingly. This made AI technology much more popular, and it led to the development of other voice assistants like Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa. But the most important thing about Siri is that it showed us that AI technology could be used to make our lives easier. It could help us with everyday tasks and make us more productive. And since then, we've seen AI technology being used in all sorts of applications like self-driving cars, facial recognition, and medical diagnosis. And today, AI technology is everywhere. It's in our phones, it's in our cars, it's even in our refrigerators. And it's making our lives easier in so many ways. So from a little I to a big I, we have come a long way in creating intelligent machines. Who knows what the future will bring? Maybe one day we'll have robots walking among us, or even a digital superbrain that can answer any question. The possibilities are endless. Now, future billionaires, I have a question for you. What do you think the world will be like in 10 years? How will AI technology change our lives? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about AI technology, check out the links in the description below. We'll see you next time.